Hello, everybody. This is Ferris.
And this is Caleb Lenoir, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with the Homecare Guyz.
Caleb, we are back in the seat, brother.
We're back, man. It's so good to be back home, man. It's so good to be back in the studio with you, Ferris. Let's get it.
Man, it's been amazing, man. I know this summer's been very busy. And before we get to the summer and everything, I just want to let you guys know, hey, today we're going to be talking about the truth about entrepreneurship. So you have to tune in. We're going to be actually just kind of giving you our take on the truth of entrepreneurship, because it may not be as sunshiny days as you may think, and it doesn't rain all the time as well.
Right.
So but it's just some good pros, cons, some things that you can learn as well. So definitely tune into this episode. But before we get started, Caleb, man, you've been having a summer to remember, brother.
I have, man. I really, I took a little time for myself in the month of July, which was great. So we had to really jam pack a lot of our podcast episodes. But yeah, I took some time in July to really kind of relax. Believe it or not, Ferris, I guess as we dive into our entrepreneurship journey, I remember like the first 7-8 years, when we were, I call you Noah, first 7-8 years in business, I never took a break.
Yep.
I never took a vacation. I always kind of reinvested the money back into the business. So yeah, the month of July, I kind of took a little break and had a moment for myself to recharge. And now I'm more excited and more energized, and I'm ready to conquer the world now.
Exactly. And Caleb, I think as we jump into the conversation, because I think that kind of ties into how the summer's going along as well, because as you know, as an entrepreneur, especially in the beginning of building a business, you're going to sacrifice a lot. It's not like the typical 8 to 5. You don't get the 2 weeks off a year. It's none of that stuff. You're going hard for so long. And really, realistically speaking, you don't know when you're going to be able to pop your head up for air.
Right.
You really don't know when the day breaks is going to come, but you just have to keep working and working and working. It may be 5 years, maybe 6 years, maybe 7 years, maybe 10 years for some as well.
Right.
But you being able to go through and take a little time to go through and relax a little bit, man, that's one of the rewards of your invested time that you did over the past
15 years.
15 years.
15 years. 15 years.
I thought about this. I'm like, imagine if you got a week worth of vacation, because pretty much you just compiled all your week.
Pretty much.
A week worth of vacation for 15 years, and that's you cashed in your vacation time.
Pretty much. That's exactly what I did. And so, Ferris, I had an opportunity to go to Puerto Rico, which was a beautiful thing. I've been to Puerto Rico several times, but I end up going to different parts of Puerto Rico. Typically, whenever I go to Puerto Rico, I normally be in San Juan. And so I had the opportunity to go to different cities that I never really experienced, like Rincon and Isabela. And I saw the sunset on the West Coast, and I saw the sunrise on the East Coast in Fajardo. And I went to different islands off of Puerto Rico, Culebra, and it was just a beautiful experience. And I would not change it for the world. Yes. I think that as an entrepreneur, the more that you work, like the saying, you work hard, you can play hard. Yes. And I think that for the past 15 years, my brothers and I, we have worked so hard in our business, working in every area of our business, making sure that it grows and be successful. And so, when we get a moment to really kind of enjoy, it's time to really kind of enjoy it and spend time with family.
Exactly, man. And I'm super proud that you have an opportunity to do it, because a lot of times people, they get burnt out. People give up along the journey. And I think that's one thing, as far as just kind of looking at some of the pros and cons of entrepreneurship. Right. There's really no safety net when it comes to entrepreneurship. You are your safety net. Right. If your business succeeds, it's going to be because you put the effort in, you worked hard, you made the strategic moves, you did the work to go through and make it succeed. Of course, God opened up doors, etc. But also, if your business does not succeed, it's because you did not put the work in. You failed to go through and follow the plan or have a plan in place. And that's one thing I think when people see entrepreneurship, a lot of times people see the sexy side of it. Right. They really don't see the side when it's hard to meet payroll, or you have staff that are walking out on you, or people that don't have faith in you, or the banks won't go through and loan you money. Whatever those obstacles that people may have that come, they don't see that side. Right. And I just want to go through and celebrate you as well. Again, being a founder of a company and being an entrepreneur as well, that's big to be able to go through and say the business. We've been in business for 15, 16 years now. Yeah, 15 going on 16 years now. That's amazing, bro. Right.
I want to dive into like the opposite part of like one of the cons. I think one of the cons for us was Really, I would say finances. I think the finances was something like right now, being in a space where you can hire staff. You know, we were the HR person, we were the marketers, we were the secretary, we were the customer service rep. So we had all these things, and I think that the importance right now, especially when you build a business, is you have to have a team.
Yes.
And so I don't know how we did that many years. You know, I don't know how we were the schedulers and the staffers and everything like that, but we did it. And I think that that's one of the cons as a new entrepreneur. As a new entrepreneur, you know, you're not going to have all the resources that you need to really kind of start your business. But in the long run, if you continue to excel and, you know, and continue to be persistent and consistent, you know, it's going to pay off. And so I think that was one of our biggest hurdles that stopped our growth in our business, is not having the team and not having the capital to really kind of fund to get the right people to excel and go to the next level.
And Caleb, that can be, and it was a hurdle. It was a hurdle because my thing is, you have the biggest dream, the biggest vision, everything, but you have to have a team to go through and do it. Like Michael Jordan can't go through and win a championship by himself. He has to have a team. I'm
gonna tell you one thing, Paris. I listened to, there was something on Instagram with Magic Johnson, and Magic Johnson said this. You know Magic Johnson, the LA Lakers. He said that he was learning about entrepreneurship, and so he went to some guy as a mentor, and he said, you know what, I want to make sure that I want to be a successful business person. I want to be a successful businessman. And so this guy that he met with, he said, well, this is what I want you to do. I'm gonna give you an assignment. I want you to read the New York Times. I want you to read this book. I want you to read that book. And then at the end of the day, I'm gonna quiz you on it. If you pass it, I'll be your mentor. And so he read those books. He read those things for probably a few weeks or so. And then he came back to the mentor and he quizzed him on it. And the mentor elected to say, you know what, I'm gonna be your mentor. He asked Magic Johnson a question. He said, do you think you're the best basketball player ever? And Magic Johnson said, of course, I think I'm the best basketball player ever. He said, well, if you want to be the best businessman, you have to have the best accountant. You have to have the best marketer. You have to have the best financial planner. You have to have all the best around you. And so the first thing Magic Johnson did was, when he came home, he fired everybody on his team. Because he realized that he did not have the best. And so that's why I said, you know, one of the hurdles is, especially what's separating a smaller business, a small business versus a large business or a mid-sized cap business, is the level of team members that you have on the team.
And Caleb, I think that is so important. Again, being able to know your capacity, and even with that, the realization that Magic Johnson had to have, he had to realize that he had to put the work in to go through and actually read the material that the guy gave to him. And the guy, he wasn't going to waste his time. And so that's another thing right there, as far as like on the pro side, any entrepreneur can prepare for success if you're willing to put the work in. If you're willing to read the books, if you're willing to go through and put the time, if you're willing to go through and go to the meetings, if you're willing to go through and actually make connections with people, you're able to go through and put the work in so that you can elevate your business. So the opportunity out there for everybody.
My name is Tabitha Phillips, and I'm a health coach with Prime Care Home Care, and I am here to share with you about an exciting new program called Structured Family Care. I say new, but we're a few years into this, and I can't wait to share all the exciting news that we got with Structured Family Care. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you know I was a caregiver for my sister. In 2020, my sister had a muscle disease that completely enabled her to do anything. I had to quit my job, I had to move in with her, and I had to be a full-time caregiver. So I know what the stress comes with it. I know the mental stress. I know everything that goes along with caregiving, and I want to help you guys. If you're living in the home with a family member, you do not have a job, and you are looking for some additional income just to be able to provide better care to your family member, please call me. I would love to see what I could do to help you. A little bit more about Structured Family. It has actually helped so many people in our community to be able to stay home with their family members. That family member didn't have to go to the nursing home. They didn't have to have outside care. They got the best care from their family member. If you're interested in anything about this program, you just have questions or you just need some help, feel free to call me at any time. My phone number is 478-804-2543, and I would love to see what I could do to help you. Thank you.
What's another pro? What's another pro that you have being an entrepreneur?
Another pro is you get a chance to go through and be the captain of your own fate. Like really your dreams can come true. I really feel like that when it comes to entrepreneurship, you have the opportunity to go through and actually dream your wildest dreams. And as long as you're willing to put the work in, those dreams can come true. The work is going to go through and actually dictate if it's going to come true, because that's going to go through and attract the right team members. That's going to go through and attract the right finances, opportunities. That's what the work does. So now when we sit and we think about our 10-year plan,
oh yeah,
we dream big.
Yes.
We dream big because we realize that we're willing to put the work in. And we're not afraid to go through and actually dream those big dreams, because we realize that we dreamed what we are right now years ago and it came to pass.
Right.
And so that's the pro is like you can actually see your dreams come true.
You know, I'm gonna say another pro. I think another pro is the impact in the impact of the lives that we're making a difference. I think that especially in the home care industry and in the healthcare industry, most people just think that we're just providing a service for pay. And that's what it is, but it's not what it is. You know, we're going in and really making a difference. Some of these individuals need they can't even move out of the bed or can't get anything to eat, which would cause them to, you know, go in a nursing home. And so we're providing those services, those skilled nursing services, those caregiver services inside the home to make sure that they are taken care of. And so we're really making a difference in those lives. We're making a difference in those children's lives where you know, they need someone to assist them with their homework or get them dressed for the day so they can go off to school. And so just really and truly, if you think about this, you know, all these blessings and all these things that you're doing to impact another's life, that's a big difference. And that's a big pro. If you can go into business and make a difference and to make an impact on your community or your state, we're getting ready to make an impact on the nation. Yes. You know, that's going to be something that that motivates you and to continue to do what you need to do in order to excel in business. Man,
and that impact, one person can do only so much, but when you have a team, your impact can be multiplied.
What the Bible say? One can chase 1,000.
Exactly. Come on.
Two can chase. Is it 2 or 3? I don't know what it is. 2 or 3 can chase 10,000. So listen, you know, it's 2 of us, and so we're going to really make an impact. And then the more you have on your team, the more you can chase. I'm talking. We getting ready to chase. We're some dream chasers, brother.
So now let's talk about the misconception. What is one of the major misconceptions of being an entrepreneur? Because I think a lot of times we see it on the ground. We see it on Facebook. We see people in the community, and not saying all the people are flossing or capping or whatever. Is some people they're making it happen, and that's just their lifestyle. But what is the misconception of entrepreneurship?
Well, I know a good misconception, Ferris. I remember we were going through financially, especially in our business many years ago, and you know it was tough financially. I think that even one of the misconceptions is that entrepreneurs have all this money.
I was about to say the same thing.
Entrepreneurs have all that is a misconception. You know, I'm telling you this, it is really a misconception. Talking about, oh, they can do this and you can ride the luxury car. Listen, they don't know these cars are payments are $1,000 and $1,500. It's just some people are living over their means. And so the misconception is, you know, that you're making all this money. That is not the truth.
I want to jump in that because I think
to some cases.
Exactly. I think one of the misconceptions that I see a lot is just because you have a successful business, it could be a 7-figure business, it could be whatever. If you have $1 million business, it does not necessarily mean you are a millionaire. It does not necessarily mean that you have $1 million in the bank. It means that your gross, your business earned $1 million, but the expenses could be more than $1 million.
The taxes, insurance, workers, all of that stuff.
I think that's one misconception is when people see that, okay, well, hey, you have a growing business, have in their eyes a thriving business. Oh, it's all profit. Or if we go through and see that, okay, well, hey, Walmart made this or whoever, Prime Care made X, Y, and Z. It does not necessarily mean all the money goes back into the pockets because there's so many people on the team. And that's one of the, again, like we're talking about the pros, you're able to go through and take care and actually serve so many other people with the resources that you've been entrusted in. So I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions is just because you see the 7 figures or whatever around the business does not necessarily mean it's right there in the pockets, in the bank.
Right.
It's almost like how people think the pastor's getting all the money.
And that's a whole other misconception too. Our mom is a pastor, so we know that. Another misconception is the time. Like you have the time to really kind of do what you want. Yeah, I mean, when you're in the phase of building your business, you don't have a lot of time. You really have to put a lot of time, reinvest it back. You know, time for your family. You're gonna miss some cookouts. You're gonna miss some birthdays. You're gonna miss, some graduations. You're gonna miss a lot of things, especially if you're really vested into your business. But time is another misconception that people think. Well, you have all the time. You can do what you want to do because you own the business. Exactly. Well, not necessarily, because payroll is due actually on Thursday. All right. Today is Tuesday. I need to clean this. I got a meeting on this day.
Yep.
I have to fly out this way. So, that's a misconception with time.
Yep. And I think a lot of times with family, I think family kind of sometimes, another misconception with the time thing is, okay, well, you have that flexibility where you can just do anything at the drop of a dime. It's like you realize that if you're planning on growing a successful business, you have to be structured, and structure brings order. And so sometimes you may get a call from this person or that person, or you think just get random calls midday. You're like, oh my gosh, like, I have a quote unquote job. I have to go to get my jobs done so other people can get their jobs done as well. So it's not like all that free time, that free fall where it's like, you just do what you want to do, because if you do that, then you won't have a business.
Right.
Your business have to have structure. So that's a huge misconception. It's just like, hey, you just do what you want to do, when you want to do it, and how you want to do it.
Exactly. Ferris, let me ask you a question. What has been some of the biggest hurdles that you had to overcome, like in business? Like, what have been some areas that you feel like, even as we're seasoned entrepreneurs now because we've been in business for 15 years or so. But what has been some issues that you had to overcome?
I think I had to overcome, I had to really level up my leadership and my belief system. I think so many times in business, you look to the left and to the right, and you're like, oh, if I can only just do just like said person or do like that person, okay, I'll be doing well. And you realize that your dream is your dream, and your dream, it may be whatever your dream is. And we have big dreams.
Your lane is your lane.
Your lane is your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I realized that not to look at everybody else's lane, but to stay in our lane and keep driving forward. Just stay forward, looking at the front, not at the reviews, looking at the front. And I think I had to overcome that. And the other thing I had to overcome was just the belief in myself, realizing that I do have the capacity to lead a large organization. And I realized I had to put some work in. It's just you're not waking up with the God gifting, a talent or a gift to go through and do this stuff. I realized I had to put the work in, but I realized I had to believe in myself first to go through and say, you know what? I can run a $1 million organization. Right. I can run a multi-million dollar organization. If I can go through and be the best leader I can be and recruit the best team that I can recruit, we can take over the world. We can run $1 billion organization. Ooh. And so I had to go through and actually change my belief system and start walking into what I believe as well. How about yours, man?
So I think one of the biggest things is, I think for me right now is, I think once you reach different goals, and of course, one of the hurdles that I have to do is figure out what is the next goal. So the dreaming bigger. Because I think that, as you reach your goal and you get this dream accomplished, we know that it's going to be effort. It's going to be more effort to achieving those goals. Correct. And it's going to be more brain power. It's going to be more time. And so I think one of the biggest hurdles for me is when I reached a certain level, kind of staying in that same place for a little while, but now I'm realizing the importance of, okay, well, you reached that. How can you impact others? Yes. What is your next assignment? And so realizing and making that next assignment bigger and bigger and bigger, so it can be something that you wake up every morning and passionate about. And so I think that's one of my biggest hurdles, is because I've been in a space where we have reached so many goals, and I'm like, okay, well, what's next? We're good. We're comfortable. We're in a good space. And so we're good. But no, we need to continue to pursue. We need to continue to grow, and we need to continue to expand our mindset. And so that's one of my biggest hurdles. And
Caleb, one thing I want to say is, like, in our relationship, so Caleb's a visionary, like, and we're going to talk about this in another episode, visionary and integrator. And so in our relationship, Caleb's a visionary and I'm the integrator. And then the other relationship, I may be a visionary and and we have integrators on our team as well. But when I say dreaming big dreams, this is like his dreams are, it would be scary to some, because you're like, oh my God, are you talking about doing all this? And you talking about, but in our relationship, it's the yin and the yang that works for us. If you dream a big dream, I can go through and take that and say, you know what, let's kind of put this in process. Let's kind of go through and make this thing happen. Not, okay, it can't happen. We're going to find ways to make it happen. Yes. And that's how we continue to serve others. And Caleb, as we wrap this thing up, I think that's what the thing, when it comes to the truth about entrepreneurship is, it's going to take a team.
Right.
There are some pros and cons to it, but I think if you find your yin to the yang, if you find your visionary, you find your integrator, I think these are the things that's going to go through and make a powerful team, a powerful organization, and makes a powerful impact on the world as well.
Well, there you have it. That's another great episode. I love this episode, Ferris. It just brought so much light into entrepreneurship. And as a new entrepreneur, especially if you listen to this this podcast, as a new entrepreneur, I want to motivate you and encourage you that you're on the right track.
Yes.
Stay in the course. Stay on the race. The race is not given to the swift, but the one that endures to the end. Yes. And so that's the word. That's the Bible right there, y'all. And so what I want you to know is you're on the right track. There's going to be some hurdles. There's going to be some obstacles that come your way. But if you continue to stay focused and you continue to trust God, it's going to work out for you, for your good. Definitely go on Spotify. You can leave a 5-star review. That's going to allow us to be in that algorithm so we can pretty much kind of be seen and be heard by many other listeners. I know listeners need to hear this great content. And so we need for you to do your job and help us out by giving us a 5-star review.
Exactly. And guys, every Tuesday and Thursday, we're dropping new content, new episodes again. So continue to go through and actually follow us on everything, the Homecare Guyz with the Z, and we look forward to seeing you guys next time.
Take care.